She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, have you ever taken initiative at work and had it backfire against you? Or have you taken initiative at work and it actually benefited you? There's some interesting studies that are happening out there in the marketplace right now. I've been an employer for about 30 years now, which I can't even believe that I can say that, which is nuts. I've been in business since I was 19 years old. You just did the math. So yes, I have 5 kids and 8 grandkids. Makes me old. But anyway, older. Maybe older than you, or maybe younger than you. But as an employer, there seems to be, especially in the line of work that we do, there seems to be a big divide between employers sometimes and employees. The mindset in between both. Now, we know that employees want to be able to advance their income, right? They want opportunities to be able to advance their income. And there's some very specific skills in which we teach here at DaniJohnson.com to show people exactly how to be able to rise in their income. And then there is, of course, the difference between what someone thinks they're doing and then what they actually are producing. And then, of course, there is that question. Are you asking? Are you asking the person who's in control of signing the checks, what can I do to advance myself? What can I do to increase my income? What skill sets do I need to produce to increase my income? And so maybe you're that person, you're like, you know what? No, I have initiative. I've put myself at the front of the line and it has backfired on me. I want to hear what your experiences are, and then let's just troubleshoot together to figure out how can you actually grow your income versus just increasing your workload and not growing your income. So first we are going over to Hannah from New York because we've asked our audience the question, have you ever taken initiative and had it backfire on you? So Hannah, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani. My question today is in regard to my ability to wisely respond to my husband after his workday and what he brings home with him. I want to act in wisdom on this, and I'm not looking to control him whatsoever. My responsibility, I believe, firmly is to control my response to him.
Yeah. Which is an important, that's a very wise concept, not always easy to do.
Yes. So I find myself in a long-term pattern here we're facing of 8 years where my husband, who I love dearly, comes home from his job, and he has a spirit of complaining about all the things he finds unjust about his work situation. And long term, about 6 different jobs in the last 8 years.
Oof.
Yeah.
So no matter where it is that he's working, he's complaining.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me this. Does he feel like he should be making more money?
He does, because he believes he goes above and beyond expectations of the job.
But he comes home complaining.
Correct.
And we all know that complaining never opens up the vault to blessing. It never opens the vault to blessing. And when somebody thinks that they're going over and above, yet they're complaining, this actually is a sign that they are not going above and beyond. This is actually a sign of, well, you owe me. This is entitlement. Complaining comes out of entitlement, by the way. It comes from somehow feeling like someone owes you something. So the issue is, so I want to address this 2 ways, because there's somebody that's watching right now who also says they are putting forth initiative and complaining that they feel like they're not getting a raise. Complaining never is the answer. It never opens up the vault to blessing. It never opens up the door to opportunity. It never, ever, ever gets somebody promoted. It never does. So then you have to ask yourself, well, what's another strategy? Because complaining is actually manipulation. It's a negative form of manipulation. And so what I find often that happens is that people get discouraged and they want to complain. And they think that if they complain long enough, loud enough, someone's going to hear them and someone's going to give them what they feel is owed to them. By the way, entitlement also never opens up the vault to blessing. Never. Entitlement, what happens with people with entitlement, that what they already have is going to be taken away from them. So that's for the person that's listening right now that feels entitled to a raise without doing these really important things. One is sit down with the boss and have the important question. Okay, I would like to know what it is that you feel that I need to make improvements in, and tell me what it is that you feel that my strengths are. Show me the places where you feel like I can really make adjustments that can help my productivity get better. What do you think that I can do that can help to make the company more profitable? What can I do to save the company money? What can I do to help advance the sales of the business so the profits can grow? Or what can I do to help this workplace be a more positive, even better workplace than it is? What areas do you feel that I need to grow in my skill set or in my strengths? It's like directly meeting with the boss and asking for those direct targets is what somebody who wants to grow and get a raise to do. And then, what do you think that I'm good at? What would you like to see more of? And then meet with that person consistently. So now here you're the wife who you've had your husband change jobs 6 times in 8 years, and he's always complaining. He's never, ever satisfied, never fulfilled. And you want to know, what do I do with that? Oh my gosh, girl, I know exactly how you feel, by the way, because my husband went through a season of this. It wasn't changing jobs because we had a business and he couldn't, but he kept starting other businesses within the same business because of this thing where he was just constantly dissatisfied. No matter how much money he made, it was never enough. And so this was several years. In fact, I think it was like 7. I think it was 7 or 8, that this went on. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. And we worked together. So I would hear the complaining about the employees, right? And the people that were making him mad. And so then they would be putting him in a bad mood. So then I'd be like, oh, why aren't you acting right? Which I couldn't lash out against our employees, right? Do you see what I mean? So it was a terrible, awful place to be in. But here's what I can say. I had to come to a place where I could not fix Hans's dissatisfaction. And you cannot fix your husband's dissatisfaction. You cannot even be his coach, which for me was a really hard thing because I am a coach. I've been paid $1,000 an hour for my business consulting, but I could not be my husband's coach and business consultant. I could see the writing on the wall of what needed to change, but there's no way he could hear me. And so I was his wife. And as his wife, I had to make the choice to be his sounding board, to let him get whatever off his chest that he needed to get off his chest, and try to identify and with his feelings to validate his feelings, but not say, well, gosh, they shouldn't do that. It's mostly if I just listened. And I had to pray a lot, Hannah. I did. Yeah. I had to pray a lot. I had to make the choice that if I can't fix it, there's only one that can. So I went to his boss. And I did. I went to his boss. I went to his boss every day. Every day I went to his boss. Now, you're like, wait a second, who's that? Well, we were business owners. So who was my husband's boss?
God.
Exactly. So I would go to his boss. I'm serious. I would go to his boss and say, dude, we have a problem here. And I don't know how much longer I can handle the complaints and the complaints against staff and the never satisfaction with making millions of dollars and still not satisfied. I'm not sure that how much longer I can handle the 80 hours a week, and I'm behind the 8 ball. I got so much I got to do. You have a problem with your employee. I think you might want to do something about it, So, and I would say, this is how I'm feeling. And I'm just wondering if there'd be any way that you might be able to make a move here. And you got an issue with your son, and you got an issue with your daughter too. And I would also pray and ask him to help me understand him better. And I would work on patience in me. I would work on self-control when my mouth wanted to just go for it. I would have to use wisdom, okay, give me wisdom. And so when he would start going out, I'm like, breathe, breathe, breathe. And I would just start praying under my breath, okay, Father, I'm going to choose to walk in your Holy Spirit right now because I really want to scream, Okay, and Father, I just pray peace, peace. And I'm literally praying under my breath while he is talking, while I'm shaking my head going, oh, really? And then the other thing, too, is I would ask God to show me how I can help him be more satisfied at home. in creating a safe place at home, creating a place of rest at home, bringing him encouragement, learning to love him even better physically. Do you know what I'm saying? And learn to distract him, which meant enticing him, seducing him into other funner conversations, which is really what he needed. He really needed a break. He really didn't need to come home and complain about what was happening at work. He really needed a break. And so my job at that point was to seduce. Yes, I said that. As a Christian, as a Bible-believing woman, there's lots of seduction in the Bible. I would seduce my man. I would flirt with him even while he was at work. I would even entice him to come home for lunch. Because look, men who are unsatisfied are looking for satisfaction. They think they're supposed to find it in work, but it really isn't. Satisfaction for all men and women, I believe, come from the marriage. And so I want you to entice him more. I want you to talk to his boss. And I want you to just say what you got to say to him. And then it's Lord, teach me how to sow satisfaction into this man, how I can encourage him as a husband, who he is as a husband. Thank you, honey, for how you provide. Thank you for putting up with all that stuff at work. Now come with me, come into my chamber and let's have some fun, right? And then encourage him as who he is as a father, lift him up. And you're going to find that sowing satisfaction in him, he's going to have more fun being with you, more fun being at home, and his attitude may change about what's taking place at work. And he'll see work as just a means to the end of what? Being with his beautiful wife and his family. And finding satisfaction in other places. Hannah, it's such a great question. It really is, such a powerful question. I hope that helps, and I hope that makes a difference. We got Cindy from Oregon next. Cindy, so what about you? Have you ever taken that initiative out and had it backfire on you?
I don't actually feel like it backfired on me, but I have taken initiative, and it has added to my workload because everybody is oh no, Cindy's good at that. I don't like doing it, so they don't.
Nice. So what was the result of that? Did you feel like you were then seen more valuable by taking initiative?
Absolutely. And at first it's very, it makes you feel good about yourself because you are good at that. But at times it can become a bit overwhelming when you work either a 72 or a 96-hour shift each week and then run a business on your own time and all of this. So at times it's just oh my goodness, this is just too much. So just spend a lot of time praying.
Yes. So let me ask you this. So were you able to get a raise from having that initiative and taking on, the things that other people didn't want to do? Were you recognized for that? You said that it made you feel better about yourself, but what changed in your finances because you did that?
Well, I'm actually making about twice what I was before at this point, and the owner of the motel has retired, and we've hired somebody else to work the days that I'm off. So I have gotten raises, yes, and my boss is so good to me. I absolutely love her.
Wow.
She's an amazing lady.
Well, it sounds like she's amazingly blessed to have you. And here's what I want to point out. I'm so proud of you because some people think, literally, we've taught for a long time about initiative. And I've worked with a lot of people who first had no initiative. They're just sitting there, they're waiting to be told what to do. Drives me crazy. Okay. Seriously, they finish a task and they sit there and they twiddle their thumbs hello. And so I taught this even to my kids as I was raising kids, that when you finish something, come and say, okay, that's done. What else can I do? How else can I help you? And one of my kids, Roman to be exact, he really caught on to this thing, man. And he blew everybody's mind at 12 years old when he first started working, even inside of our company, where he would be like, okay, what else do you got for me? What else do you got for me? What else do you got for me? And everyone loves that kind of a person. But there's that other person on the other side, Cindy, that says, that's not going to work. I'm just going to end up with more work and the same amount of pay. That's not going to work out. I'm just going to be taken advantage of. I feel so sorry for that fool. Because look, Cindy, you are living proof right here that you were like, I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that. You've doubled your income. Hello.
Right.
And you have an amazing relationship with your boss. People look for people like you. You are those golden gems. Now, here's something I'm going to ask that you do, okay? Because you're saying 72-hour shifts, 96-hour shifts.
Yes, I spend exactly half my month there and half my month at home.
Okay, cool. Do you want that to change, or do you like your working schedule?
I would like to have less hours there as I build my business. I would much rather spend the time at home with my critters and my family.
Your critters.
Well, I have 2 African gray parrots here and 2 dogs that are the size of ponies that are angry because I'm not home.
Okay.
So I'd like to be at home with them more.
All right. So, Cindy, let's handle this. So that you can spend more time with the family and the critters. All right. So, look, you have an amazing relationship with your boss. You are a woman of initiative. You have proven yourself to be someone that is trustworthy, hardworking, that gets more done in less time than everybody else. Why not sit down with your boss and have that conversation? Well, now that she's retired, she doesn't want to come spend more time there. Hold it. Look at me. You are making excuses, and you're already coming to a conclusion as to why you won't sit down and have the conversation. Oh, no, we did have the conversation. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't clarify that. We had the conversation, and she is just delighting in the fact that she doesn't have to be there anymore. Okay. And she doesn't want to come back and spend any more hours there, and I don't know. Is there another solution, though? Is there another solution? I have to talk to the other manager and see if she's willing to take more hours, but that means less pay for me, which I can't do yet. So hold on a second. It sounds to me like you're in a quandary. So you're saying you like the money you're making, you would like to reduce your hours, right? Yes. Okay. So if you reduce your hours, it's going to reduce your pay. Absolutely. So you have to take a risk at some point. So here's what would be my recommendation. My recommendation would be to even meet with the manager or the owner and say this. Say, okay, first of all, thank you so much for the job that you have provided for me all these years. Thank you so much for the raises that I've gotten, the opportunities that you've given me to be able to grow. What I would love to do is find out from you what you would like to see to happen with the business, what areas you feel that I can improve in, what steps I should be taking to advance my skill set, because I have a goal. And the goal is to help increase the sales here, but maybe do it in a different way so that I would be able to have more time with my critters and my family. I would like to reduce my hours by this, but I would like to increase my effectiveness so that my pay can stay the same. So if I can grow the business, or I can make things more efficient, if there's a place where we can save money, if there's a place that we can reduce something or increase something, if I can actually do that in the places where you think it can be done, will I be able to decrease my hours but maintain my same standard of living, which basically is a raise. Do you understand? That basically is a raise. Right. And or your other option is to reduce your hours, reduce your pay, which means reduce your expenses while you're getting your business off the ground. That's something you have to consider. So, and if you're really wanting to spend more time at home, you're going to have to evaluate, okay, well, what's more important to me? So if you look at your expenses, you've doubled your income, which means you might have doubled your expenses too, which is now keeps you stuck in the situation that you're in. So if you were to look through your expenses, Cindy, and go, okay, are these things really that important to me? Or is time with the critters and the family more important to me? So evaluate the finances, because you already doubled your income. That's amazing. But I would at least have that conversation to look for ways. Ask them. They know the business better than you. They own it. So ask them, where can I increase the value? Where can I increase or decrease expenses? Look for that ways to do it so that your income can stay the same and you can reduce your income. Or B, look at your expenses and cut some things out that are not that important to you, that are not as important to you as spending time at home with the critters and the family. Those are much more important, but these other expenses are not so important. So you can cut those things back. Or you can just reduce your hours, reduce your pay, suck it up, and enjoy more time with the family and the critters. Those are your options. And I'm pretty sure the woman of initiative that you are, pretty confident you can make this happen. All right, we got Mendy from Missouri. Hi. Okay, so what about you? Have you ever put forth initiative and had it bite you in the backside, or have you benefited from it?
My initiative is awesome. I do my own job. I don't have to be directed. I am probably a workhorse that wears herself out. I've been at my job for 26 years, but I have no advancement opportunity because I'm in the union, and the union negotiates my hourly rate of pay and everything else that goes along with it.
Yeah.
But my question is, with a strong work ethic, my boss will come and usually on a daily basis give me extra things to do when there's other people around that could take these responsibilities on. And I have asked him, why don't you take this to somebody else? And he says to me,
you know the
if
answer.
I bring it to you,
exactly.
it will get done.
Exactly, which means that you're a leader. You're a leader. So then here is my recommendation, okay? That's always going to be the case when someone's got great initiative. First of all, can I just say congratulations for being in the same job for 26 years?
Oh, thanks.
You're awesome. You're awesome. And yes, unions have their benefits and they have their not so great benefits that go along with it, right?
Of course.
So then
yeah.
Here's what you have to do. You have to find a workaround around this, right? So this is a meeting with the boss when you say, hey, thank you so much for giving me those extra tasks that I can see other people obviously can't do. So I have a question for you. What areas do you think that I need to improve my skills so I can advance myself in a higher position of leadership? What skills am I missing to be promoted into a different level? Because if I want to use this initiative and I want to use the abilities that I have and I want to advance those things so I can advance my overall value to the company. And that's the conversation I would have. Rather than complaining and looking at what everyone else is not doing, you need to recognize.
Absolutely.
You need to recognize.
I do not complain.
No, but just asking him that question is a complaint. Like, hey, why do you give this to me and not to them? Okay, that's a complaint. So rather than saying that, I want you to go to him and say, thank you so much for giving me these tasks and thank you for believing me in this, but I want you to tell me what areas of skills do I need to advance myself so I can jump to another level with leadership. I want to grow in a leadership role, and even maybe, is there a management role? Can you teach me how to manage so that I can help motivate some of these other people to be able to take on more tasks? Ask these important questions so that you can jump into that next role. And don't be afraid of asking that question. You obviously have initiative and you're trustworthy. This is Dani Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope that today helped you. God bless.